First one, just kind of looking at the Liberty, they get into a lot of switching with Jonquel Jones and Breonna Stewart, and they typically flatten out opponents like offenses in terms of their movement. I was curious, what are the conversations with your team about fighting, going against the grain, and not conceding to their switching?
Yeah, um, Sandy's done a great job of mixing up their defense. They're both their bigs can move, so they're in coverage sometimes. Sometimes they're up to touch. Sometimes they're showing and blitzing, and then they'll also fall into switches, and especially when Stewie and Jones are in the same pick and roll together. So when we come off and see that, we've got a couple different ways to attack it. You can, go in the post or you can space and snap back. And now we can look to attack Jones downhill and hopefully they come in and help. So, we've talked a lot. We've seen a lot. A lot of our players have seen all the different coverages. And, as long as we play with space, we feel like we've got good enough ball handlers and people that can make decisions that are going to help us either get to the paint where we want to get to or kick for threes.
I was going to ask about your post spacing off of Brittany Griner's touches. I was curious, what are the conversations like in terms of balancing out the stagnant spacing versus having somebody cut from the backside to shift the defense after they send a double team at Brittany?
A lot of it is feel with our group. We've got a couple different options when we throw it in there. We can speed cut along the baseline where you've seen Ka get some layups with like a pitch action. We can get into high splits or motion up top when we throw it in there, or we can throw it in there and just stay and hold. And typically, a lot of times, that's when you've got great shooters because the person that is guarding the person that entered the ball, they're going to stay attached. And so on the backside, we just try to we try to shift the floor, and at times you'll see us with a slant cut into the dunker. I think Beck Allen and Sophie both do a great job of cutting to the rim when they start to overload. So we've got a couple different options that we look to when we throw it in there, but post spacing is definitely something we've talked a lot about the last 10 days.